So, what happens when you've got this huge, amazing idea, but, a not so huge budget? Well, today we're going to look at a masterclass in how one nonprofit took 4 decades of history and turned it into a powerful legacy. And they proved that sometimes pure determination is worth way more than dollars. I mean, it's a problem a lot of us can relate to, right? How do you celebrate a massive milestone and make something that'll last when you're counting every penny? Let's break down exactly how this one group totally nailed it. All right, so let's meet the heroes of our story, the Rotary Club of New Manila East. For their 40th anniversary, they didn't just want to throw a party. No, they decided to create a premium hardcover coffee table book to capture their entire history of service. A really ambitious and, potentially very expensive project. Okay, so let's really dig into the challenge they were facing. This was way more than just publishing a book. They wanted to create a true landmark, something that would really, truly mean something for years to come. And their goal wasn't just make a book. Oh no, it was super specific. The book had to feature 80, that's 80 different projects from their anniversary year alone, projects that impacted over 20,000 people. So this was never just about a pretty book. It was about honoring a massive real-world impact. And this is absolutely crucial. The project was never, ever just about the book. It was a strategic tool with a crystal clear mission. They knew exactly why they were pouring all this effort into it. And you can see just how smart their thinking was here. 1, preserve the legacy, all 40 years of it. 2, use the book as a powerful tool to shape their public image and tell their own story. And 3, use that story to inspire the future, to get new members and partners excited and keep the mission going. It's brilliant. Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. Instead of just guessing what might work, they based their entire strategy on cold, hard data. Research became their secret weapon. And this is maybe the biggest takeaway from this whole thing. Let data, not just gut feelings, drive your strategy. And we're not talking about a quick Google search here. They went all in. They profiled every single one of their 47 members. They dug through an archive of over 11,000 photos. They consulted 30 of their past presidents. They even checked out 10 other Rotary publications to see what the competition was doing. I mean, this was some serious professional level homework. And this is the best part, because you can see a direct line from their research to their strategy. So they discovered that nearly 3/4 of their members wanted an actual physical book. Bam. Decision made. Prioritize a high-quality, hardbound copy. They realized their 40-year archive was a mess, so they created a clear standard to make sure everyone was honored. And, this one's huge, they found out that 84% of their key stakeholders wanted to see verifiable impact, so they made sure the book was packed with real results and testimonials. All right, so they've got their data, they've got their strategy, now it's time to actually do it. And this is where that whole idea of resourcefulness just comes to life. Every single decision was about getting the most bang for their buck. And you can tell so much just by looking at how they spent their money. See that? Over half the budget, 52%, went straight into making the book itself top-notch. Another 36% was for the launch event and getting it into the right hands, and just a tiny 12% was for spreading the word online. It's so focused, no waste at all. And this really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Just over 333,000 Philippine pesos. And get this, that number includes the value of all the donated services like photography and design that members pitched in for free. That is an incredibly small amount of money for a project this big. But here's the thing, that tiny investment, it wasn't the end of the story. Not even close. In fact, it was the key that unlocked something absolutely incredible. And boom, here's the punchline. That little coffee table book, the one made on a shoestring budget, was so powerful as a tool to engage people that it helped the club secure over 103,000 US dollars in grants. I mean, talk about a return on investment. That's just, wow, absolutely staggering. So, just how big of a deal was this whole project in the end? Let's look at the final numbers, because this is where you can really see the full story, comparing what they hoped for with what they actually pulled off. Okay. This chart right here, it says everything. They hoped to win 20 awards. They nearly doubled it, winning 39. They were aiming for $30,000 in grants. They didn't just hit it, they more than tripled it. and they were hoping for maybe 400 social media followers, they ended up with almost 5,000. On every single metric, they didn't just meet their goals, they absolutely smashed them.
And this quote from the club really just sums up the whole vibe, doesn't it? It was never about having a ton of cash. It was about having a huge vision and the teamwork to make it real. It just goes to show you that a legacy is built on passion and hard work, not just money.
Look, at the end of the day, this story is an amazing proof that a small budget doesn't have to stop you from making a huge impact. So it really makes you think, right? What's that impossible project you've been dreaming of? And how could a little data and a lot of creativity make it happen?